Okay, everybody. We are going to spend some time here today. Well, first of all, finishing up any writing that you need to maybe complete. We'd also like you to spend some of the rest of the time here today doing some peer editing or peer revision on these sci-fi short stories. So get some other eyeballs on your paper. Well, however you want to do that is up to you. And these are the kind of things that you want to be looking for. This whole presentation that I'm going to go through is available on Moodle, so you can kind of go through it on your own when you feel like you're ready to have someone else's opinions, have someone else kind of look for what they see in your paper or in your story. So we're going to start with the setting. You want to make sure that you have a setting. Is your setting well described? Can you see it? Can the reader visualize it? That's what these readers are here for, to kind of make sure that you've got that going on in your paper. Make suggestions for whoever you are reading. Make any suggestions that you can help to make their paper even better. Where could they add more description for the setting? Or could they maybe add more detail to get you invested in their story? You could also take a look at the conflict and the climax of the paper. Some of the highlighting, if you want to do any of that, that's fine as well. But make sure that you're able to identify what the conflict is, what the climax is. Characterization. Has your partner characterized each character well? Make suggestions for places they can show more. Has the main character changed by the end? What more do you want to know about the character? Is there anything that you feel is missing in the way that they've presented the characters in their story? And is there a change? Is there something that this character has learned? Good characters are those dynamic characters that change from beginning to the end of the story. Theme. Is there a clear message to this reader? Remember, that was your challenge. And see if you can maybe determine what the theme is if they accepted that challenge. There was one other thing here that I wanted to get to. Glows and grows. Write anything that you think is really good about their paper. And also things that they can work on. So that's ideas and organization. We also want to be concerned with word choice. I want you to read through someone's paper today and focus on word choice. You must make at least 10 suggestions of places where they could improve word choice. So here you may want to make some comments. You may want to do some highlighting. Remember, you're using great description in these stories. You're using vivid verbs, adjectives, specific nouns. What could you change from what they've already written to make it even better? You should be able, as a reader, to see, hear, taste, touch, smell what's going on in the story. So some highlighting might be in order there. Again, this presentation is on Moodle. Voice. Edit for voice. Read through your partner's paper focusing on voice. Voice is the personality that comes through in the words of your paper. It can be a character's personality. It can be the writer's tone or attitude. Think about how that narrator is coming across. Identify any areas to show great voice by underlining them in your partner's story. And feel free to insert some comments on things that could be changed. Maybe you want to include some dialogue. Maybe you want to include some slang. Make it interesting. Make these personalities come across on the page. And dialogue. Check those dialogue rules. You should know them by now. There's 4 of them. Make sure that your partner is using dialogue correctly. I will be looking at that and making sure that that's going on in these short stories. And then lastly, and you will probably do this as you're reading through, is just where do you see things that could obviously be fixed, things that maybe don't sound quite right. Punctuation, where does punctuation need to happen or not need to happen? Are things clear? Can you know what's happening in the story? Is it clear to you? And spelling. Please spell things correctly. And I think with all that, you should be pretty good. Your final draft typed is due next class. You need to make sure that you bring at least a paper copy. And don't worry about sharing it with me or anything like that. But make sure it is out there digitally so that you don't lose it. So 1 paper copy. Again, I need to read these on paper because I can't keep my eyes glued to a computer all day. I'm going to be grading these as soon as I can, but it will take me a little bit of time to get through all these stories. Next class as well, make sure that you do bring your rubric. That was the green sheet I gave you last time that outlines all the things I just went over, all those traits of writing that I'll be grading. And I'm also going to collect those green packets. You outlined your story before you did any writing of it. So make sure that you have that green packet to show me that you did some of the sort of brainstorming work that went into what will eventually be your final draft of your story. We'll collect all that in next class. And that's about it, I believe. Make sure that those make sure those stories are typed up and formatted correctly. They should be double spaced, stuff like that. Again, take a look at that green rubric. You'll see some details about how I want your final draft to look when it's on a piece of paper. So I will be done, and I will see you next Tuesday. Sorry I missed you today. Happy writing, happy peer editing. Have a good weekend.